shit they said about y'all. Come on, all the shit they said about us. It's time for us to get out there and short this.
What you here for? Strictly business. Yeah. You want a job or get rich? I'm bossed up. 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 I got boss in my IV. Just check my ID, and that's why I be the HNIC. People despise me. My services ain't free. Ain't trying to hear your story, homie. Cop me, no please. In high school, corner, quarterback. Nowadays, corner, quarter sack. Keep that on the low, rappers turning into rats. Fly snitching on they self, DEA ransack.
What's good? What's popping? Boys are in the building. Moolah your ass is on the road doing whatever the fuck he doing. Got two guests. We got CC.
Hey, on the road again.
Huh? All right, so we got Will. We're gonna this was a 2-week thing. I appreciate you, hitting us back on this. So we had you have it on your page. Who is Will Brown? Let's have you answer that. Let's have you answer that question right now.
Yeah, first off, I appreciate y'all fellas having me on, reaching out. I always love to talk ball. I'm first and foremost a man of God. I'm from St. Louis, born and raised. Always. You already know, man, how we coming. But always had a love for the game. Ended up playing small Division II football. So I was really just focused on being an engineer coming out of college, but had a little growth spurt. Balled out my senior year, ended up getting some good attention making it to the NFL. So played a couple years in the NFL with the Titans and the Birds. And when I got done with that, started working out here in Phoenix with this company called Exos. And now I'm with the sports science team. And probably at least 15 of the draft picks in the first round train with us at Exos. So we do a lot of high level preparation for the combine and getting some of the best guys ready. So in a nutshell, that's me outside of family, wife and kids. So that's something that we all try to juggle and maintain.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get into it. CC, introduce yourself.
Okay.
A little background.
My name is Carlton Carpenter. They call me CC for short. Played high school ball, played JUCO, got a love for the game, follow it, keep up with it. That's pretty much about it with my football background. Other than that, just, keep up with guys and stay tuned into the game. I'm really confused on what's going on right now. But other than that, I just love the sport of ball.
Yeah, all right. So, Will, we're going to chop it up with you real quick as we keep our eye on this dumbass draft that's going on right now. So playing Division II ball myself, I went to JUCO, played at University of Maryland, transferred from JUCO, University of Maryland. Football is what I do. This is like my baby. Football is my first love. And so going through the Division II process, what was that like for you? Because I want to ask another question because I get into a lot of the narratives of what student athletes go through as far as I want to talk about the NIL stuff and all of that. But just tell me what your experience was like going through D2.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I was under recruited. A lot of times when you coming out of high school, especially in my situation, I was a small player, and I tell a lot of guys that the number one thing that schools are looking for is measurables. So they're gonna size you up for your position, and from there they're gonna check some more boxes when it comes to speed, athleticism, things of that nature. But for me, I was a little runt. You know what I'm saying? I was about 5'8", 5'9", maybe like $150 at my heaviest. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I was like, why Nick Saban not coming? He just was not checking for me. It wasn't happening. And so I did, however, go up to a Mizzou camp and did my thing, got my name on the radar, and had a preferred walk-on to go to Mizzou. Had some small Division I offers to go to like Drake, Illinois State, and Grambling. Grambling was a HBCU I had visited that I was kind of feeling them. But I ended up choosing my school. Excuse my son, he having a little fun back there. I ended up choosing my school because it's one of the top engineering schools in the country. And like I always loved science and technology. I'm a nerd by nature. You hear me? So it was only an hour and a half away from home too. And so I didn't initially think I was going to get to the NFL. Like I was really thinking about life after ball and what I wanted to do to set myself up once I got done playing. And so they had great academics. They gave me a scholarship. It was close to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good situation for me, and that's why I ended up signing with them.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much in the same boat. Me and my cousin, had my cousin on here a couple of weeks ago. I guess small guy syndrome is a real thing when playing football. When you 5'8", my cousin's 5'6". He was probably about 150. I was around that time, probably like 165. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, like you said, it's all about the measurables. What's your vertical? What's your 40 time? Shuttles, all that stuff is important. Luckily for me, I was a psychopath. So I could hit with everything I had. It was 165 pounds coming at you like a maniac from corner or safety, but also played receiver. So that was where I found my niche really was at receiver. So I got into JUCO, got my feet wet there, ended up getting scholarship offers to Saginaw Valley State, Nebraska. There was a third school. I can't remember who it was, but women messed up everything. So my girlfriend at the time was like, well, if you go across this country, like what's that's going to leave us? And I was just like, well, I'm just going to play ball. Like, let me knock this out. So she was like, no, you can go to University of Maryland. So I go to University of Maryland. They fired a head coach, pull scholarships. I'm stuck. So that's my story. Then from there, practice squad with the Baltimore Ravens for a couple. Bounced around semi-pro arena. What else did I do? And that was it.
So when you say that she kept you at home, was it what was it her personality? Was she just that great of a human that you had to stay home, or was you just a little whipped at the time? What was going on?
I was the latter. I was the dummy because when I met her, I was 18 and she was 28. So she was in a totally different space than me. Like she was like she already had a daughter. It was like a lot of things was going on. So she was like, she's trying to build this family. I'm like, I'm trying to get to the league. Like that was my thing. I was like, since I was a kid, it was like get to the league.
Yeah.
And I got further than most people, but I fell short of what my initial goal was.
Mm-hmm. So would you tell youngins, like, what's your, in retrospect, staying home was the better option for you? Or because me personally, now that I've traveled and just seen more of the world, I may have gave my younger self the advice to go to a school a little further away from home. Just see what else is out there for you. Like, what was it? Any other benefits to staying at home other than just being with your lady?
No, see, for me it was kind of twofold because I'm originally from New York. So I left. So I left New York to go to Maryland, and then while I was there, then it was we got to go even further to make this happen. What I would tell, like, if I could go back and tell my younger self, just leave, dog. Yeah. Just leave. Go do it. Because at the end of the day, either she's gonna be there or she's not. But that shouldn't dictate the moves that you make as a man.
You got goals for yourself.
Yeah.
It's always better to leave and to go see the world because you never know what's out there for you. So,
Yeah. And
my
if
thing is always
yeah,
go.
because those are, at the end of the day, you can't put your dream on hold. That's the way. That's what I got out of it as I got older. Just understanding you had to go for yourself. Now, most people would say, well, you still went to the university, you still went to Maryland, you still had a shot to get there, but it wasn't the shot that I needed because I knew Jermaine Lewis, and that was how Jermaine was just like, nah, if you think I can do shit, then you gotta see this dude. That was like my foot in the door. But outside of that, I didn't get a chance to play my way into the league. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was kind of upset with myself on that.
That's real. It's something that we think about hindsight, but try to live without them regrets at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely I cherish my experience. I think it was dope to be able to go to a small school for me, but I always live vicariously through my younger brothers. They play at Nebraska and Texas and Vanderbilt. So when I'm down, I'm like, hey, yo, get all that merchandise. I need some of that.
Yeah. Well, okay. So it's a good transition. That was the next place I want to go because I watch the NIL stuff that's happening nowadays with the kids. And I know what it was like for me, just being in JUCO, just being at the University of Maryland. I had cousins that played basketball at UConn. I had a couple boys played at Ole Miss. And I know when people say, when I heard like, I can't remember basketball. He was like, how they went to bed hungry. I'm like, you're a liar. If I know anything, you're not going to go to bed hungry. And, because if you look at these kids and they come out of high school, none of them got tattoos. By the time they in the middle of their freshman year, they got full sleeves, back tattoos. They got all the stuff that you like. How'd you pay for that? How'd you get that? If you can get it, or if you can pay for tattoos or get free tattoos, you can get free food. So even with like when I was at JUCO, we was a Nike school. We had a sheet with sweatpants and sneakers and this, that, everything. Just you had to check off the box, put the size in it. You come back, it was sitting in front of your locker within a week. So a lot of the stuff, if you haven't played sports like that, it's hard to argue with when you hear a kid from, Nebraska or a kid from UConn or a kid from, Clemson or whatever it may be talking about, oh, nah, we don't get no money. We don't get this. We don't get that. I'm just like, if I was getting it at a lower level and I wasn't even a star, I'm pretty sure you was getting something.
Oh, it's definitely not a matter of them getting. So for the first thing you said has grown substantially when it comes to just being able to get merchandise and being able to get access to campus resources. That's just the foundation. That's the bare minimum. Then on top of that, they began getting stipends. And so this is before NIL even happened. And players were getting these every semester to make sure that they were able to pay their bills and they had money to just live, and it wasn't no little pocket change. It was like you got $2,500 a month. Like and in college,
$4,000.
Extra $2,500 is good.
That's a lot. Because I'm talking, I was in college in the 90s. Like that's not even what they do. Like what we was getting in the 90s was pennies compared to what they doing now.
Yeah, but when I look at it just from a different lens now, I'm a business owner, right? So I understand how should this sweat equity really be split up when it comes to all the bread that's being made on the back end. And so Of course, it's always gonna make sense when it comes to, do you have what you need? Do you got a little extra pocket change? You good? You happy, right? But that's low key what you do to your side chick. You know what I'm saying? Just blaze her, hit her with a little bag. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that she's happy, but she's not getting the queen would get if she was in that situation. And so I say that to say players started to realize, damn man, like, if the coach can get paid $10 million to coach me, you telling me that all I can get on averaged out is $300 to $500 a game? That's the math ain't mathing.
See, the way I look at it is Cam Newton said something good on his podcast the other day. Said one, and before I get into Cam, what they consider NIL and what they're doing today are two totally different things. That it's not the same, and I'll explain it, but I'm pretty sure you understand what it is, Will. But Cam said the purpose of NIL was just to make your college experience better. You weren't supposed to make generational money while in college. Now, the way I would see it is you get your scholarship, and off of NIL, but I'll explain what my version of NIL would be. If every player was getting, let's just say, $10,000 a month, that's over $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
You're not spending any of that money because you're in college, or at least you shouldn't.
They're definitely spending it. I promise.
It's gonna be suspended. I don't know what you're about today. Yeah,
and then you talk about if you stay there minimum, you got to stay there, especially if you're playing football. You got to be there for 3 years. That's over $300,000 a year. I mean, over those 3 years. Because what happens is now
I'll
you got
that in half. Probably like because just spending wise.
No, I'm just saying, and I'm saying in total. That's just what you're getting. But what happens is now you have guys who aren't the lower tier guys. There's no incentive for them to work crazy hard to get to the league because they're going to make more money in college than if they go pro.
Yeah.
And then you have college players at the moment making more than pro athletes. Like there are guys in the NFL who make less money than college players right now. That's crazy.
I mean, I think they should. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. And the only thing that I disagree with Cam on is why not make generational wealth in college? You got to understand that business is not about fairness. Business is about who is really generating that paper. And so when you know for a fact, like Johnny Manziel, you're not going to tell me that Johnny Manziel shouldn't have been getting a percentage of his jersey when everybody's going out there and buying his jersey to come. And on top of that, the way that the stadium is selling out now is because of Johnny. So we got to understand that aspect of it.
But that's where, to me, that's the NIL part.
Right.
Because now, but what
so you want percentage of what they're getting, of what the NCAA is making off of a player's brand and name? Like
that's what NIL is supposed to be.
And then additionally, it's supposed to be your ability to go get outside sponsorships.
Exactly.
Yep, so you can do virtual things of that nature.
But that's not what we're getting from these kids, because how could you tell a kid, come to my school and we're going to pay you $2.5 million?
Yeah.
For what? What is he going to do to acquire that amount of money? Because what happens is you should come to the school, enroll into the school, and then if we have a alumni that has a car dealership and you doing commercials for the car dealership, or they got a billboard like out here in Vegas, if one of the kids at UNLV has a poster inside the MGM, they're using your name, image, and likeness to support the sports book or whatever it may be. But if I'm just giving you money to come to the school, then that's a contract. That's not an NIL deal. We are signing a contract, a deal for you to come into my school, which should be.
That's what I see it as.
legal.
I see it as a contract. Like you guys are making contract deals,
and that's illegal.
No, not necessarily, because the situation as it currently sits is that's the purpose of the collectives. Is these collectives were created specifically to have a budget, which is essentially a salary cap for college. And now teams are basically hiring GMs to take this and allot it to their program so they can win a championship. Like, don't get this confused. This is all
like
about
the pros now.
Oh no, I know what it.
Championships and national championships. You're trying to build a team to win that so you can get that big check at the end of the year.
No, I know what it's being used for, but it's not in the spirit in which the NIL was supposed to be. Because at what point?
I see what you're saying now.
At what point are we using the name, image, and likeness of that player?
Because it was supposed to be both. Like, we was really asking with both hands out. And follow me with this, because if I'm a player, on one hand, yes, I do want to go out to the car dealership and get that deal for the whip and an extra little check if y'all trying to throw me that. But on the other hand, too, I understand that us winning is making the school money. So y'all should cut us a check directly.
It's bringing business in all day.
But
as long as the team winning, the school's going to win regardless whether the team do well or does bad.
Oh,
right.
No. It's levels, though. It's levels.
It's different. It's different levels to it. But the only pushback I have on that, because I agree, but then what happens is all sports are not created the same.
Right.
And all players aren't created the same.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is, we all know if you go to Alabama, the football program funds the entire athletic department.
The school, for real.
Yeah.
Well, you got the quarterback from UNLV.
Say it again.
You got the quarterback from UNLV. He declined his scholarship because they didn't come with the money.
Yeah.
And that's
the thing. You can't be mad at the kid for calling out a liar. Like,
the UNLV situation, only because I have guys there. He lied about the whole situation. There was never an agreement about money when he got here. Everything that he got paid up front.
Okay.
So he wanted more because UNLV was undefeated at the time. It's kind of the same thing what happened with.
Is he wrong?
Yeah, I'm looking like. But
is he wrong? Yes.
He's under contract though, right? Like,
yeah. No, it's not under contract. It was like the agreement was he would come to UNLV. I think, I don't want to get the numbers mixed up. It was like $250,000, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And
he wanted another $150,000 in the middle of the season. It's like you got to wait for that, dog. Like, you can't. I get what you're trying to say, but you still got to wait on that.
So hear me out on this, fellas, because shit, we are grown. How many years or how many months are you performing at a high level at a position before they keep telling you, nah, you gotta wait for a raise, bro?
Well, I would say, especially in this, we'll just keep it all in the UNLV situation.
Yeah.
One, you came to the school in September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he already signed the deal, so
they gave you $250,000. By October, you were asking for more money.
Well, was the expectation undefeated for the 250? That's my question.
It doesn't matter. You signed a contract, though.
It's not
the problem of doing business.
But then it goes to, if I'm the school, if they say if a kid came to me and it's the same kid, I'm like, you played. I think he came from like Sacred Heart or William and Mary, something like that.
Yep.
And you was trash. Like, you were not good, bro. Like, you were not good. You are technically, and you're in your 5th year. It would be one thing if you was like a highly recruited dude and then everything switched when you got here. But we kind of like did you a favor. That's why you only got $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I think we have to come to a meeting and be like, look,
Yeah.
you bet we're both benefiting from each other right now.
Yeah.
Let's just see where it goes.
Yeah.
But to tell me, nah, I'm out. But on top of it, there's another culprit in all this, Dan Lanning, who I hate more than anything on the planet.
Said Dan Lanning?
Yeah.
Oregon.
Because what happened was Dan Lanning had reached out to the kid, well, the kid's agent, and was like, look, because he's prepping for next season. And Dan Lanning he's tied to two things right now. I'm gonna get to it in a second.
So Dan is he's tapping in. That's
he's a snake. He's a snake.
Yeah.
So what happened was he convinced the kid to leave. He ended up leaving. But Dan Lanning is also tied to Nico at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
He offered them $4 million to leave Tennessee to go to Oregon.
Ooh, that's red flag.
Like, so I don't know if he's doing it just to like.
I think we're talking about the wrong subject. I think we need to be talking on what are the boundaries.
Well,
that's coaches.
Well, there is no the problem with there's no boundaries and there's nobody governing the NIL stuff. It's wide open because now you got Nico and his brother. I guess Arkansas they want their money back. He took $200,000 from them, and he's going to UCLA.
Like I have a problem with the kids that's like, okay, say you make the CFP, you make the playoffs.
I hate LeBron more.
And then there's already that first trial of the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you're handicapping the teams that do good, and then they don't have no benefit of reaching the kids that's in the portal till after it's over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like that needs to be fixed immediately because that's just strong arming them.
The thing about it is
I would say it's not strong arming them in the sense that y'all don't have to pay them anything. Like the whole point of your job is to understand when is it time to pull the trigger. And
right.
I understand this kid is really with us. So if I don't have a contract, I don't have something that's legally binding to where I could just give a kid $250,000, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't be in that position. We're not gonna go at the kid and be like, nah, like he played us, he did us dirty. Like, no, it's like give me a contract, say this what it is, I sign it, then you send the money. But that's part of the game, man. People been trying to drop off bags of money and not getting recouped on that bag of money for the longest.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and I say this, I don't even refer, because when they be like, oh well, the kid this, the kid that. I'm like, look, the second you start signing contracts and you getting paid to do something, I throw that kid shit out the window. You're an adult now.
That's true.
Once you start getting agents and all that, and you do all that, nah, we talking business now. This is all business.
Yep.
So
it's 18, 17, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter to me. When you have the ability to say, talk to my agent, we on a different level now. That's something totally different.
But what's also not being talked about so heavily is these kids that's not performing well and what happens to them. How they politely introduced to the transfer portal by their own coaches. Mm-hmm. So because now it's not like I know that if I come and I sign this contract, I'm good. I just got to be a good student and show up to practice all the time. No. If I'm not performing, they are going to replace me.
Exactly.
So if I am performing, why shouldn't I ask for a little more paper?
Because I think the way I see it is we have opened up Pandora's box. Because what happens is if you got a kid like Nico who said, before the bowl game, my contract was only for 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
and this is 13, I need more money or I'm not playing in the bowl game. So then does it get nasty with coaches where it's like, I can sit you because now I'm not trying to not breach a contract, but I'm not trying to put you in a position of power moving forward. If I know you got 12 games and I'm like, we're going to make the college playoff and that's a 3 to 4 extra games. I'm like, look, that game where you might go nuts against, Albany State, I might sit you that game.
I'm with the player on that one, though.
And now you suffer. Now your stats suffer.
Yeah.
Like,
but
what's
the real incentive for that for the coach? Like, how does the coach win by taking money out the kid pocket?
He's not, but because now it's about business. It's not about taking kids. It's not about because all I'm doing is if the kid's going to come back and say, look, I was only scheduled to play X amount of games and we're going over that and I need you to pay me more money, the coach is going to look at it like, okay, well, how can I avoid that moving down the road? So all those non-conference games that are shitty, sit this one out. You a DMP.
But hear me on this. You don't think none of them fellas in the Notre Dame locker room just happen to notice that they coach got an extension in the middle of his contract? Just a whole raise, just all of a sudden the contract don't matter. You were supposed to play under what you was making. It don't matter that we went to the championship. Why you get a raise now, coach?
But they're gonna have to handle it just like how they handle the NFL.
But your raise as a student athlete, your raise is coming too. You're going to the league.
Nah, see, that's how they sell you. Everybody ain't going to the league.
Everybody's not going to the league, but the dudes that are there are still getting paid. Because at some point, if I'm the star quarterback and I'm looking at the third defensive tackle or the redshirt freshman, why are they getting money?
Yeah, because we got to look at the other side of the portal too. If
because that's the future of the program.
Yeah, but they're not doing. But I'm the present. But I'm the present. Like that's the thing. It's like they not doing. I'm the one on the field. Like it gets dicey when all of that conversation starts coming into play. Because I'm gonna tell you, if I'm somebody like Travis Hunter, and I look down the bench, and I'm like, he don't do nothing. Yeah. I'm playing both sides of the ball. I'm a Heisman. No, I deserve at least $20 million.
I think that's the wrong person to use, but because
he probably could have asked for that. But the thing is, nobody bat an eye when Cooper Flag get $5 million. Like nobody is saying, "Oh man, this Cooper's asking for too much money." I ain't heard that in no conversation.
He got
nobody. But the crazy thing about it is, no one talked about any of the money until Nico started asking for more money, because we did a show right during preseason, and we ran down all the players in college football, the highest paid NIL players.
Well, he's only competing with his allies. I mean, Carson got paid.
Who would you think made more money last year? Arch Manning or Travis Hunter?
I say Archie.
Arch Manning. He wasn't even a starter.
Who made off the name though? It's based off the name.
Now, who made more money?
Off the name.
Shador. Who made more money? Shador or Nico?
Shador.
No. Nico made more money.
Are we? Hold on. Wait. Are we going off of sponsorships?
Yeah.
Or are we going off total money? I think Shador brought in way more money.
Nico's NIL deal was more than Shador's.
Oh, so we're talking about NIL. We're not talking about making money outside of that.
No, we can't talk. We can only talk about NIL.
So if you would have said that, I probably would have said Nico, because I know Nico made 4.
Yeah,
and I know Shador's only NIL deal had to do something with that beat deal, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And that was old. That wasn't new.
But you got to think about it. You got a backup quarterback and a freshman quarterback making more than the dude matter of fact, Nico made more money than Shador and Travis combined.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the SEC though.
Don't matter.
But we
No,
also
it do matter because the
but-
SEC has a contract
Yeah.
directly with ESPN.
Yep.
No, so does the Big 12.
Yeah. So, but it's a bigger pie. Is what CC's saying is that if they got more money to spend,
Big
then
12 contract is with Fox.
No, but they all have network deals.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the ESPN deal, though, they specifically are focused on the SEC. That's
That's not even the biggest college football brand. That's not, the Big 10 has the biggest TV deal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they had the biggest deal. I'm saying that's the reason why he has a big deal because he's in the SEC, though.
Yeah, I mean the conference doesn't matter. The player matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think about the position that Nico was in, right? When he came out of high school, Nico was the number 1 or 2 rated quarterback
in the country.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where the NIL package starts. So when I'm coming out of high school, I signed a 4-year NIL deal. These aren't like I'm getting Nico wasn't getting $4 million in 1 year.
No, it was 2.5.
I'm sorry.
It was 2.5.
The contract that he signed was for more than that over the time that he was expected to be at Tennessee.
I think he signed a 12. Was it 12 million?
Yeah.
I think it was 12 million over 4 years.
Yep. So what I'm essentially saying is that at what point is it acceptable for him to come back and renegotiate his terms? Or are you saying it's never acceptable?
At the end of the year.
That's when all this is happening.
No, he did it. He did it.
Yeah, I have heard that it happened during the season.
Yeah, it was right before the bowl game.
But he did play. That's the thing. He might have threatened, but he played. You know what I'm saying? And so now the season over, let's talk money. Let's talk business.
Now,
like, when else should we be talking about it?
Because if you're, what would you advise the kids? Because we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna talk about some of the kids that you train.
Yeah.
Would you advise them to, while you are negotiating, to not participate in team activities, or continue on with team activities, negotiate, come to a decision, whether it's a yes or a no, and then make your decision if you want to leave school or whatever it may be at that moment?
So this is what I was told. You know, this is our hearsay from kids from school. He go to Tennessee. What he's told me is this was towards the end of February, I believe. And they get their stipends at the beginning of the month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
1st and 15th.
At the beginning of the month, you know what your check's supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a conversation with you, coach, on Monday about this situation, and you tell me, man, there's nothing that we can do, and I get my check on Wednesday, I already told y'all I'm not coming. So Friday, why would I be at practice? It's over with.
Okay. So you're okay with not showing up?
I'm saying if you already know,
got a contract to abide by.
The contract is up. Like, I'm not getting no more money.
His contract wasn't up. He just was trying to negotiate a new one.
That's what I'm saying. He asked for his raise. Y'all basically told him, you're not getting no more money. This is the money that you get. Mm-hmm. Why am I coming to practice some more? Like, I'm in the portal.
Yeah, you're not obligated to show up during negotiations.
Okay, I'll just
negotiations is basically over. Y'all said, all right, you're not getting no more money.
Okay, I guess for me, I look at it especially at the position at quarterback.
Yeah,
I do expect just a little, there's just a leadership thing that I would want to see from that.
But he got to lead himself too, though.
Me personally, I wouldn't do that. That's just me.
And to answer your question, I wouldn't advise a player to do that. I'm really explaining the mindset,
right,
of being an employee. Like, when we at work and the check ain't right, G, like, all right, man, like this obviously ain't the situation for the two of us. Let's go our separate ways. But with kids in college football, you got to understand the game. all of your moves are being analyzed, and in life, you never want to burn no bridges. You want to make sure that you.
And I guess that's the right. And I guess that's the mindset I would use, and I would just be like, because you never know when paths get crossed.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't want the stick. And being a young player, because I'm not gonna call him a kid, because you're making grown decisions now.
You are. It's big money decisions.
Yeah. So you have to understand, how is this going to affect me down the road? Yeah. As we saw, North Carolina pulled out on him. There was another school that pulled out. I forgot what the other school was. And he ended up having to go to UCLA for even less money that he was getting at Tennessee.
Yeah.
So now he's on a prove it now, because he has to really build his stock back up now. He has to.
Oh, absolutely. But I do believe it was a little bit of smear campaign going on from Tennessee. Like, yes, the kid.
What did the brother have to do with the situation?
The brother left. He was in Arkansas, and he entered the transfer portal. They're both at UCLA now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard some things like just seen on the internet that the brother had a lot to do with it. Say so.
Well, not to say so. His brother, Arkansas is trying to recoup the $200,000 that they gave him to come to school. Because I think he's only been in Arkansas for like 2 months. So there you got.
No, it's like it's the wild, wild west. G.
It's crazy right now.
Everybody got to understand that if it's not in paper, if the paperwork ain't right, if the contract don't say what I'm supposed to do once you give me this money, I can do whatever I want to do once you give me this money.
Right, and this is why I say the NIL doesn't. This is not really NIL, because if it was NIL, name, image, and likeness, that travels no matter where you at.
It travels. Yep.
Like it shouldn't matter if I'm at this school, that school, or the another school. Yeah. It's my name, image, and likeness. It's not attached to a school. It's attached to me.
Yes. They're not paying for name, image, and likeness, because when you think about that, it's only 2 instances you do. It's for selling products and services and commercials, or it's for video games. That's name, image, and likeness. Like Cece just said, you were here because you could play ball. I'm giving you a check for your performance. And when it comes to somebody like a Jeremiah Smith commands $1 million a year. You can't tell me that he don't shift balance of power for national championships, because clearly he does. So if I'm Jeremiah Smith and I politely go to my coach this spring and say, you know what, I know I could stay and just go the route of being another Ohio State wide receiver, first-round draft pick. I know that's what y'all going to sell me on. Cool. That would be the A route. But if somebody chooses to go the B route, Jeremiah Smith not wrong. But I guarantee you they will run a smear campaign on Jeremiah Smith if he decided to go on a portal right now and get what he can command on the market.
And that's the problem I have with this whole system right now, because it's not really NIL. This is pay to play.
So to correct your system you're talking about, we're going to need, what do you think the NCAA should do? Because I think it's going to get worse by next year, because the game is already out, and now you're going to have players on the cover, current players. I think, you just brought up, Jeremiah Smith is on the cover of 26.
The crazy thing about all of that, how much money do you think all those players made individually for being in that game?
Oh, they
all got different pay cuts. They all got
like $500. No, they got like $1,000, some shit.
$750.
Yeah. I knew.
Every player,
every single player, because you got to this
they
whole
have
fight.
To do that.
Yeah, I hate Ed O'Bannon with all my soul, because he's the one who started all of this. He started all of this because he thought, oh, well, the video game is making so much money. Everybody's playing it. We should get paid from it. Not understanding what it takes to make these damn video games and how much money the game really does not make.
It does not make that much money. Like not in the grand scheme of in the athletic industry, video games is little on that.
That's he like it was dumb. And so now, but I'm all for if Nike came to Jeremiah Smith and was like, yo, we want to give you your own signature shoe and we'll pay you for that. I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Because if Jeremiah Smith leaves Ohio State, that Nike NIL deal travels with him wherever he goes.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't matter if I'm a Buckeye or I went to Michigan because it's me.
Mm-hmm.
My name.
You cross the territories though.
Yeah. No. I'm just using it because I'm a Michigan fan. I hate Ohio State, and he brought up Jeremiah Smith.
But it's in the terms of the NIL and kids being basically just right through the coals for wanting to switch schools for more money. Is that a bad thing when they watch coaches leave for more money, when they watch the director leave for more money? Like everybody for more money, but as soon as the kid jump in the portal for more money, he being greedy.
Is it right? Is it right? No. Is it fair? Yes. Because coaches and players are not on the same level. Mm-hmm. And we should, the same way I don't treat the star quarterback like the backup punter. Them niggas they not equal. Like I'm not, he's going to get a certain set of benefits that you're not going to be privy to. If he misses practice on a Monday or a Tuesday, all right, we'll figure it out. If you miss practice,
you out there.
We got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can treat everybody. How did my uncle say it? You treat everybody fairly, but you don't treat everybody the same. Now,
fair, not equal.
Because I can't treat everybody the same because everybody's just different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, can you look at it and be like, oh well, if LSU offers Coach A enough, more money to leave the school, is he wrong for doing that? No, he's gonna take the bread. If a player does it, it's a little different. It's the same, but it's just a little different.
I just think media.
The thing that nobody really want to talk about too is just the perception and how race is always going to have a factor in America. And I heard crickets when Riley Leonard jumped from Duke to Notre Dame. Everybody was like, "Oh, cool, good for Riley. Riley Leonard, he deserves to make some more money. He's a good quarterback. He could transfer." What was the pushback at all? But is it basically about how you do it? Are you saying that
because
to the end of the season and then it's all good?
Well, it's because it didn't lead with money. That's the difference. Because there's been other dudes that left schools, but it wasn't about money. The first thing that popped up about Nico was he wanted more money.
But that's the narrative.
No, it was true. He said it.
He definitely wanted more money. What I'm saying though is he wrong for that? Like,
but what is Carson Beck getting?
Yeah, Carson Beck definitely did the same thing. Carson Beck
like, what is Carson Beck getting? Like, he's just. I said it earlier. Like, he's just being competitive with his play. He's just trying to negotiate what he can do.
But two different. But like I said, the same but different. One was a national champion and was part of one of the best teams in Georgia history.
Yes.
But how much of that was him, though?
The other one is a freshman quarterback who's done nothing.
Yes, I agree with you on that for sure. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I got you on that, but we talking about quarterback.
Does it matter if he was the catalyst or not? He has a national championship under his belt. He was ranked in the top 5 while he was there. Those are things that he can leverage. Nico didn't have anything to leverage.
You got that right. Yeah, that's a.
He only had his leverage when he was that 5-star recruit.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
When he first got there, he's like, if you want me to come here, this is what you got to pay me.
Yep.
He was the best out of Long Beach, and he was the top in the country.
Now, if Nico would have went out and beat Ohio State, because that's what they lost to, right? They got drums. If he would have went out and beat Ohio State, let's sit at the table. We can talk now.
Let's sit at the table. No, I agree with you. And this was a masterclass on leverage and lack of leverage. And when sometimes you try to play your joke and realize you don't got the biggest joke in the game. You feel me? So he definitely landed in a good spot. UCLA still cut him a nice check. Not what he asked for, but I definitely don't think he could have stayed in a situation where y'all obviously not on the same page.
Yeah, that Tennessee would have been too toxic.
It would have been toxic.
So let's get to talk to me about the what is it? Exos. I was about to say Exodus, and it's like it's not.
Yeah, so Exos is a gym, but more than that, it's a human performance center, meaning that we work with athletes, we work with people in the general population that's just in corporate life trying to get healthy. We work with the military, but when it comes to the NFL Combine, just dominate. And over the last, I would say 15 to 20 years, it's been consistent. Anywhere between 40 and at the highest, it's been 65% of the draft is trained at the Exos location. We got one in Phoenix, Arizona. There's one in Dallas, Texas. One in Pensacola, Florida. And then we just opened one in Atlanta. And so the biggest thing about it that is the separating factor from other places is it's a one-stop shop. You go there, you get your nutrition. All of your meals are provided. You get your you got physical therapists personally assigned to you. You get your speed training. You get your strength and conditioning. You get your skill position training. You get massages. You know, we got a cold tub, hot tub, everything you could think about for athlete's paradise is in them doors. And it's spacious. It's a huge facility, so you don't feel like you're cramped in. And I like to tell people that you don't necessarily need all of the flashy, the glitz and the glamour, but never underestimate what happens when you get a real one, some resources.
Yeah.
Because we know what we do when we ain't got much. You feel me? You can put us just in the gym, rusty old plates, you feel me? A couple ropes to get it in, and you can make a dog in there. You feel me? And a lot of cats will say, man, you don't need all of that exo stuff to get to the league. You can do it on your own. You can, my bro. Good luck. But if you want to make sure that you have something that's a proven system that is providing you all of the resources that you deserve, then I recommend it. Not just because I worked there. I did the combine there myself. Like, I came from a small Division II school where we ain't have hardly nothing. And I didn't have no type of real like work ethic in the weight room too. That was a thing at the time. But when I got the Exos, man, they turned me. You ever seen Captain America?
Yep.
He walked in the tank, and then after he came out, that's how I was. So it's like I just saw by building habits and changing your daily routine as an athlete, you can put that extra 1 to 2% to the highest prospects. That's all they need.
And that's what I'm glad you said that, because I had that conversation as well about what separates a Division II guy and a Division I guy is not a lot.
It's not much.
It's not a lot. If you,
except for in them trenches, I will say, when it comes to them, that D line and that offensive line.
And I'm glad you said that, because I'm still trying to get my guy on here. His name is Lamar King. Played defense in. He got drafted in the first round by the Seahawks. Lamar was 6'5", 295, ran a 4.3 at defense end.
Wait, hold on.
At defense end. Defense end. Look it up. You can type in Lamar King. You see him, big old motherfucker head this big.
That's a freak of nature.
But when I got there and I'm looking at the receivers, I wasn't the shortest receiver. I was the smallest wide receiver. Like, we had another dude named Charles. Charles was built like a running back. Like he was like 5'9", 210, but his arms were this big, legs this big. Like he looked like Maurice Jones-Drew, but played wide receiver. And it's just like when you start looking at some of these guys, you're like, fuck, another receiver, 6'5". Matter of fact, I'll tell my Plexico Burris story again. He knows I hate him. He sucks. Everybody, I'm gonna ask you this question too, because I ask every football player that comes on the show, who is the guy that you look at in the league that you be like, you know what? I know I'm better than him. Mine is Plexico Burris. I bust his ass in practice for 2 weeks. Made him transfer to Virginia Union. Ass. So whenever I see him, I tell him, you ass, because it should have been me. But the receiver coach told me straight up, he's 6'4", you 5'9". Can't teach height.
I would say that I feel like I was better than everybody. I didn't necessarily. I never hate on nobody because one thing I respect is that
it's not hate. I'm not.
Yeah,
I am hate. I am.
There's a lot of politics when it comes to football, man.
No. I would say I was definitely surprised at how can I say how well I fit in coming from a small D2 and immediately coming in. Like I said, I had growth spurt in college, so I'm like 6'1" now. Immediately coming in, I'm like one of the tallest corners in the room in Tennessee. And so that was messing up my head a little bit because growing up, you always imagine NFL players, these giants. And when you get around them,
they're not that big.
It's in that corner. Like, it's a couple freak athletes at like you say, D-end and linebacker. You like, okay, this nigga's a baby Terminator. I ain't built like that. But seeing some of them move in person too, like I ain't hating, but Hakeem Nicks, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Super Bowl,
he's
Super
stiff.
Bowl.
He's stiff.
You already know.
I know.
So when I'm seeing it coming from D2, I'm just like, this Hakeem Nicks. He been catching touchdowns in the NFL. Like, I know he finna be. Let me line up. Let me get ready.
And I'm be like, nigga, you trash.
I'm playing ball with him. Like, all right, like okay. So I say maybe I just call Hakeem on the way out. You know.
No, your assessment.
Y'all telling me Hakeem Nicks' is ass?
Look, when you
I ain't gonna say ass, bro. I'm just gonna say I was surprised that from the D2 that
Freddie was nice in college. He was nice.
Look, he was like that.
He was. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. Okay, I'm not gonna say ass, but what you got to understand is like your perception is never the reality when you see it.
Yeah.
When you because we'll sit here, and I know he was in the same position as like when he got with Hakeem Nicks, is that you tell yourself, I'm not good enough. Mm-hmm. I'm not on this person's level. And then you line up with the dude, and then you realize, wait a minute. Like, but that's where the confidence comes.
Yeah.
That's when you realize, oh, he's not that much better than me. Or he's not better than me at all.
Yep.
Like I worked out in it's Redskin Park. It's down in Virginia. I worked out with James Thrash, Albert Connell, Champ Bailey. I worked out with all of them. Yeah. And then you start to see like the only thing that separates a lot of these dudes is some dudes just went to better colleges.
Man, and I swear to God, this is my dog. He's like my brother. I seen him. It's all love every time we see each other. But, man, Michael Griffin, bro. Michael Griffin is a great football player, a very, very regular athlete. Like, when you see him do drills, you'd be like, damn, G, like, hold on, bro. This
bad feet, everything.
You know what I'm saying? This top draft pick, this big money, millionaire NFL player. Like, I'm thinking I'm finna see somebody explode out of breaks every single time. Like, it just wasn't like that. But then I also saw on the flip side, man, somebody like goddamn I just drew a blank. Brent Grimes is
nice.
When I tell you, I'm looking at him cut on the field.
His footwork is crazy.
Crazy. crazy. So then you just see like some Julio Jones. I played against him. I'm just like, nah, this nigga's different. I don't know what alien they dropped this nigga off from, but this nigga was made to play football. Like
Yep.
I gotta get back in the bag. I ain't nowhere ready for this type shit.
There was a receiver that played for the Giants. Come on, I'm gonna tell you right now. It wasn't Juan Dixon. I'm trying to figure. Every time I try to remember this fool's name. New York Giants. I played with him. Hold on. Why can't I should have did this. Oh, I didn't know I was gonna get here. But let's see. And I think it might have been 01.
See, I promise I'm not hating on these niggas, man. Like, but it was
Hey.
just that some guys really are what you expect.
Nah, you keep it
Ron
back.
Dixon. His name was Ron Dixon.
Ron Dixon. Okay, that name sounds dirty. Damn. Receiver for the Giants. Okay. I know
Yeah.
something.
Ron Dixon. When I played for the DC Stars. I played for the Washington Chiefs. He played for the DC Stars. Me and him was going crazy, back and forth. And I was like, yo, who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
And it was like, nah, he's actually in the Giants camp. That's wrong. And I was just like, all right. I think later on that season, I watched him in the preseason game. Nasty, fast, quick. He was crazy quick.
Yeah.
And then I think he played maybe 1 or 2 years. And then you wonder how dudes like that don't stay in the league.
Yes.
And doesn't, because you've seen it up close. You've seen it. And you be like, but then you see what's there, and you be like, I know that he's better than that.
Yeah.
Like Stevie Johnson was like that. When
I'm
you
gonna
see
tell you.
see Stevie Johnson,
Yep.
nuts, ridiculous, hands, foot, Brandon Lloyd. Like you watch dudes like this, and you're like, how can they stay in the league?
Like what? I don't know. I don't know if you can throw B. Lloyd in that bag though, man. Like,
Well, I just thought he would have been better. My bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. His ceiling was he was supposed to go up there. Yeah. When I say like cats who be surprising me, it's more y'all know who Jordan Matthews is?
Jordan Matthews, the running back.
Nah,
no.
That's his name, I think Jonathan. But Jordan Matthews, he used to play wide receiver at Vanderbilt, and then he ended up getting drafted and played a bunch of seasons with the Eagles.
Right.
After he left the Eagles, he been bouncing around the league for 13 years, bro. 13 years, bro. And solid receiver, you know what I'm saying? Like he decent. Like I ain't gonna hate on him. But again, not the flashiest, not the fastest, not even the biggest, but he's a pro.
Right.
He's willing to get the job done.
That's
on him, and I'm telling you, that's what keep cats in the league.
Not you.
Every young boy or young man I know getting ready for the draft, and I tell them, bro, aim to be a captain. If you challenge yourself to be a captain of your team, you will have a long NFL career.
Yep. That is the one thing. That is the first thing when I got to college. We sat. They broke all the freshmen up, and away from the rest of the team. Coach sat in front of us and was like, "Look to your left, look to your right. Everybody that's sitting down was all conference, all state, all this, all that. Every single one of y'all. Nobody's no different. What's going to separate y'all is who's coachable and who's not." And if there is one thing that my uncle instilled in me, he was just like, look, be coachable. As long as you can be coached, you will find the spot on a team.
Yep.
When I got to high school, he said, the first thing I'll ask you, what position you play? Don't answer the question. Tell them you're a football player.
Yep.
I like that.
I love it. Straight up. Even though I do have just small pushback on the word coachable, right? So I agree 100%. But the reason that it is that way is because a lot of cats don't really want to get paid to do their job. A lot of cats want to be in a position of coach, but they don't want to actually coach. So when you say a guy is coachable, that's basically saying, man, you make my job easy. That's basically saying that when I come to work, all I gotta do is draw this up on the board. You go do it, yes sir, no sir. Again, not saying that that's not a great thing, but you are a glorified coordinator. When we're talking about being a coach, especially if you're talking head man, being a leader of men, why do you think so many of them take that trip down to the trenches and say, I'm finna go get some of these dogs, you hear me? Because I know how to lead men. I know how to get that other version of you out of you that I know you tripping some days. I know you ain't gonna have it all here some days. I understand it. So is it that the young man isn't coachable, or are you not coaching? Are you not really a leader like you need to be? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody,
coaches need to be relieved from their position, man.
Coaches aren't created. All coaches are not created the same.
Nah.
That is 100% true. Like to be a coach, because I coach, and it's weird because I was telling Will, I was telling you the other day when I coached, I coach women's football. Never thought that that's where I would end up. Like I knew I coached Little League, I coached semi-pro, and when I got to Vegas, one of my goals was to get back into coaching. So I dabbled with a couple, Pop Warner teams. I dibbled and dabbled with one of the middle schools and one of the high schools, but COVID happened, messed it all up. And then I found myself in an arena where I was coaching women's football. And that was completely different from anything I've ever done. But it challenged me as a coach because I'm dealing with football players, but I'm dealing with football players that don't play football the way I play football. And now I have to adjust the way I think, the way I talk, the way I move, the way I do things to fit this new area that I'm in. And I hate coaches who can't do that. Whenever I hear like an offensive coordinator, he's an offensive guru. And then it's like, yeah, my system. The second you say my system, I don't listen to you. I don't listen to you. Because your system is whatever the players you have. Because you can, I run a spread offense. Well, what if you don't have a spread offense team? What are you going to do now?
The only thing you can do that's universal. You can run that double wing T.
Yeah. Hey, I tell people, look, my cousin, I should have got his ass on here. He'll tell you, my favorite, I'm going 12 personnel. I'm going to get 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a fucking tailback, and we're going to go to work.
We're going to work.
We're going to go to work. There's no defense. You can't design a defense to beat that. I'm even across the board. You don't know where I'm going. It's a lot of things I can do.
And I love the fact that you look at coaching that way, because it is a little bit of building a staff. Sometimes you have to have people who maybe you are just the guy that draws up plays. Maybe you are the guy that's the motivator, and you will hope that you can have all of these ingredients in one coach, but sometimes you got to let people lean on their strengths.
Yep.
My thing is, players definitely got to understand that line of I'm having a bad day versus I'm crashing out, because as a leader of men,
those are 2 different things.
Yeah, you got to know too that, hey, you the coach, you ain't Jesus. So when that sheep lead the flock, I'm not chasing the sheep. I'm with the flock, bro. So
right,
the flock gonna keep going.
100%. And it's we talked about it last night. I was talking about Kevin Stefanski, because they was like, should Shador go to Cleveland or whatever we was talking about last night. And I was like, no. If as a quarterback, I would never want to play for Kevin Stefanski, because his offense is ridiculous. It's not quarterback friendly. It's basically, I want you to do this, this, and this, and don't go outside of that box. That's why Deshaun Watson don't work. That's why Baker didn't work. That's why, who else was it? My man DTR, Dorian Robinson, he's now with the Eagles. None of these dudes work. The reason why Joe Flacco worked, because he's a robot. throw left, throw right. He's going to do exactly what you tell him to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, and I don't like offense like that. It drives me nuts because there are certain times you just got to look and you see Odell and you be like, get 13 the ball. I don't care how you do it. Get 13 the ball.
Straight up.
Oh,
actually trying out here at Exos with us.
Oh, did he?
He did his full ACL recovery with us. He had done his NFL combine draft prep with us, so it was a long journey that he's been tapping in with us for.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. He's a real good dude. I like Odell. That's my man. Talk to me about alkaline activated. What's that?
Yeah. I actually just finished up one, you know what I'm saying? But are y'all familiar with alkaline? Y'all know what alkaline means?
Yes.
For sure. So everything that's vegan isn't necessarily healthy. You can have you some cookies, you can have you some cake.
Vegans can be fat.
Vegans can definitely be fat. So when it's probably like 2019, I'm listening to Nipsey Hussle. He rapping about Dr. Sebi. So I'm Nipsey, my guy. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but that's a poster behind him. That's Nipsey on my wall. I listen to Dr. Sebi. I'm seeing all of the documentaries. So I'm like, me and my wife, we're going to try it. We go 21 days straight, all alkaline foods. I'm noticing just a change. And obviously, like, weight, energy, attitude. I don't know if you understand how food affects you get what I'm saying? So you might have a woman that's a little irritable and not realize, man, she been eating all this fast food, she been eating all this cheese, she been eating all this processed sugar. It got her guts all messed up, and she a little snappy. She got a little attitude. It's because she not her best self. So seeing that food could transform us, man, that made me want to start a business. I wanted to do something that could be healthy and help people and make us money, do things economically. So when we started the brand online, this 2019, I'm doing everything, bro. I'm doing yoga classes. Y'all ever been to Sedona?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'm taking people up to Sedona on retreats. Like, I got the hood from St. Louis, like, flying out up in the mountains. Niggas who ain't never seen no shit like this. I'm talking about toes out in the red dirt. Hear me walking through creeks and all that. So I wanted to have a holistic brand around alkaline activated. That's what I was calling it. But 2020, I got laid off from my job. So it went from being just a kind of side hustle online brand to I'm going to go full-time entrepreneur. I ended up, I bought this store in downtown Tempe, and we started producing and making just the drinks exclusively. So wasn't hosting as many retreats or yoga classes, just the drinks. We got the drinks going crazy. The strawberry mango smoothie was the one that made everything jump. You feel me? So I went from just having vendor stands at marketplaces to doing whole athletic events, working the concession stands, to doing nightclubs. I'm pulling up, I'm servicing the bars, and that helped me understand that, man, this really clicked to people, even as not necessarily people who would be onto health and wellness type of drinks and really care about that stuff. I'm in the club seeing that somebody that's drunk and with a hangover loves this. Like, this is bringing them back to life.
You got a product.
So it really started clicking. And so I started reaching out to all my connects from football. Like, hey, bro, like, if you know somebody that's doing an event, a concert, a comedy show, just any celebrity I can think of to get the drinks in front of, I started doing that, man. So I was meeting people from Bernice Burgos to Terrell Owens to.
How you just gonna drop Bernice in the middle of this? Like,
I'm just saying.
He dropped the hottest one. He dropped the hottest
thing. G, like, I'm in the club, G, and I give Bernice a bottle.
Right? No, that's the. I mean, if you're gonna give somebody a bottle,
you know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna keep it real. She literally got no reason to lie. She could have been like, nigga, first off, it's no way a woman is usually just drinking a random ass drink given to her in the club, right?
That strawberry mango keeping her young, huh?
Yeah, especially Bernice. Bernice a veteran. You feel what I'm saying? So the whole spiel, I had to tell her all about the brand. The promoter through the live, he said, bro, you got about 5 seconds to talk to her to see if she want to drink it. And so I gave her a couple of shots and I presented to her in a way that made it seem like it was part of club culture. Bro, I didn't do it like I'm at a vendor stand in the marketplace trying to sell you on health and wellness. I brought out the bottle service, you hear me? Like sparklers, you hear me? We had the tray of shots and everybody taking shots and like, damn, what is this? Let me tell you what it is. You get what I'm saying? So that those type of instances are what drove it from just being a healthy beverage to being more of a cultural push, something that I'm in the streets doing, getting motion with, because I'm going to people where they at. I'm meeting them in places where it's not just for people that's looking for the healthy options. Even though I do yoga classes, I go to gyms and all of that, I just I had to have something that was going to be available to people wherever they was at. And can't tell me a good drink ain't always needed somewhere. So that's alkaline activated. We've been pushing all around the valley. I'm hiring a lot of the youth, a lot of the people that just need an opportunity to make some paper, some legal paper, and growing this is my passion, bro. Like this is something that I see me doing until God show me something else in life.
Yeah, well, we definitely gonna talk about it because I got some people out here in Vegas, and we can figure out a way to get it out here.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely ship y'all a pack, bro. Like you gonna love it. I'm telling you. I got bars and we do, yoga events and like healthy stuff. We have vendors come through, so we'll tap in on that. Let's make it happen, bro. For sure.
Yes, sir. And I noticed it too on your page because I'm gonna have to get me one. The rare is rare. I want one. I need that.
For sure. So actually, this is my best friend in St. Louis. This is his brand, Real is Rare, and it's always just kind of been a motto of his. And when this is probably 2017, he got it tattooed on him, and I'm like, when the brand coming, man? When you gonna start dropping merch? And so, man, it's been going well. I could definitely get y'all some.
I'm definitely gonna tap in because I saw the hat and I was like, I need that hat. Like I'm a hat guy, so I saw the hat and I was like, oh yeah, I like the art because I'm anything with R's. Like if you saw the intro, I played for the New York Rebels. That's my uncle's team, and it had the Rough Rider R. I'm part of Rough Riders. So that's my shit. So anything with an R on it,
yes, sir. I got you, brother.
Did they even start the damn fourth round, or we're not doing this today? What are we doing? No, it looks like it's going to be tomorrow.
Oh, just on a little short while. Did not get drafted today. It did not happen. So
it did not happen. Okay. I want to ask you because you're a DB. We had this conversation a couple of weeks. I wish I would have had you on for that shit. To T-step or not to T-step? That is the question.
Yo, who just said that? Who said that they don't T-step? I just seen that.
Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I think that it's always about natural reactions, and at DB, it's gonna be situational. Like I'm a T-stepper myself, but if you zoom in with 1,000 lens, you know what I'm saying? You might see that my heel is not all the way on the ground. You know what I'm saying? You might see that I might be pushing a little bit off the balls of my feet versus off a fully planted heel in the side of my foot. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a coach a guy up on how to make a break unless it's horrible. Like if you just are not getting out, I'm gonna teach you some angles and some ways to have the proper foot placement. But if I give you the proper foot placement and it's slow, then that's just worthless. I'm not gonna make you T-step and it's slow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you really got to take time to develop somebody and teach them how to get in and out of their breaks, to know what's best for them, to know should they be staying with that bicycle, should they be learning how to T-step, are they a natural T-stepper? And you just need to coach them on how to be more explosive, on how to be more stable. And the fine details of that, bro, that shit got a lot to do with your body.
Right. It's your core. It's like core strength. You gotta.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, not just your body's core strength, but literally how your skeletal system is set up. Like a lot of niggas is bow-legged. Some niggas knock-knee, like all this shit matter when it comes to making breaks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know Mula said that his ass in the comments. He ain't, I don't know where he riding around, but he in the comments. But when we was talking about, he said the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see it. I've never seen someone come out of the break without T-stepping. Like
I don't T-step.
So what did you do? Like, did you
bicycle because it's more of a natural motion for me.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's easier for me when I'm in my back pedal to just plant and like, I think it's generational. That was at the end of the day, like I got to, it's just generational. I never played on the heels of my feet.
What?
Never. My coaches always said, if your heel is hitting the ground, you fucking up.
Yeah. I think though it also.
I never played on my heels neither. I'm confused.
It really got a lot to do with your ankle strength too. Like,
so
you gotta have strong ankles to be able to do bicycle breaks. Because another thing,
you talking about T-planting, right? Like opening up the hips and.
No, that's a T-step is where you basically you turn your foot parallel to drive forward. Like when you get to your plant foot, instead of planting toes down, you're planting parallel and driving up. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
The thing is though, it's all about your body position, right? So if I'm making sure that I can keep my shoulders and my nose forward, and I can really, I'm basically popping my hip. Y'all see the Dak Prescott, the little hip hop?
Yeah, the open up the hips.
That's literally what you're doing from a DB position. So I'm not really turning my body and breaking.
Nah, you're opening up your hips. It's all hip motion.
Yeah,
we call it T-plant. We didn't call it T-step. We call it T-plant. Because I played a little bit of nickel, so I just open. It's just a natural reaction, though. You open up your hips and you're driving.
Not me.
So you're just double stepping. You're just double stepping and driving.
No, when I do, I plant and go. It's like for me.
Nah, hell nah.
No, I kid you not, because it's more of a fluid motion for me to just backpedal, plant, and go.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, because
so you're keeping everything forward though.
Because I was always
forward.
Yeah, I was always taught wherever my toes point, that's where I go.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I can see that. I can see that really that helps me when I T-step is I'm getting some rotational power. So I'm almost rotating and getting through my break versus just pushing back and trying to get that just force angle back to push me. I'm trying to get some force and some rotation to twist me out of that break, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that just comes with whoever you was coached by, because like I was taught that like opening up your hips and having great hip flexion and motion,
but
you can get in and out of breaks quick. Like,
see, we played a lot of man coverage. You can't T-step out of man.
I'm not a DB though. I play a little bit of safety, but I mostly play like nickel and outside. So I really play like just nickel back.
Well, like I said, that's why I said it's generational. That's why I said it's generational.
I'm not a true DB.
the way
I think Moo could speak to it more.
Me and Moo had a great because the way we play DB and the way they play DB now is completely different. It is not the same. So I can understand.
How do they play it now? What's different?
Because we were allowed to be more physical at the point of attack.
Exactly. At the start of the line, it's hands on.
Yeah.
And at the top of the route, shit.
Yeah. So nowadays you can't. They don't. When they play a lot of off. They play press, but they don't play. There's no hand fighting. I could reroute receivers
just off that first step.
Yeah. So it's not a lot of that now. So they do a lot of mirroring. So if you're going to mirror somebody, I can understand why T-stepping would be beneficial for you.
Yeah, just off the back of it, it's like you just saying like you never T-step. Just off like I'm visualizing your feet, and I'm just like, huh? And I'm like, that's crazy.
Now you can definitely just play and drive without necessarily having a T-step. And like, it's been situations in the game where I just react, and that's just what I do.
That's just your body just did it. Like your body I'm not saying I don't. I'm probably sure I've done it thousands of times just because that's what my body needed me to do.
Right.
But I don't consciously do it, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's different for a DB because I'm just thinking like if I'm just out there roaming, only time I T-step is when I'm planning on trying to drive on the ball.
Yeah.
Like
I would say that the time I know I'm definitely T-stepping is if I'm coming out of my read steps. Like if I'm taking any type of read steps, I'm planting. I'm putting that heel in the ground. I'm pushing off the side of my foot, and I'm driving downfield. I get more to a pedal, then it's a chance I might be doing more of a bicycle type of break than a T-step, especially depending on how fast I'm backpedaling.
Right, and that's what I was saying. I was like, because if you're in a zone, it's more likely that you're going to T-step because you're reading a lot of different things. Yep. So once you see it, you're gonna put your foot in the ground and go. Yep. But if you're in your back pedal and you're going not full speed, but you really getting it, that's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to put that to T-step it and then get your body around or do it. It's gonna be that's too much momentum to stop like that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that aspect of it. Like your pace has a lot to do with how you're gonna be able to hit the brakes.
Mm-hmm. Who putting their heel down though? Like, why ain't putting their heel down?
Yeah, like
when you T-step, your whole foot's in there.
Your foot in the ground.
I always play on the balls of my feet. Like
I would definitely like hold on, I got a little space where I'm at, man. So let me show you my little demonstration. So if I was to be in a little two-step formation and I'm here, it's not that I'm necessarily planting right here. All I'm doing is just turning that foot.
Yeah.
So I'm walking back, I'm pushing, but when I plant here, I'm driving forward. So
right.
I know that, but like when I plant, I'm planting on the balls of my feet. Like I'm not my heel not touching.
Your heel only hits
up my hips. All I'm doing is I'm just opening up my hips and I'm planting. I'm going.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is if you're going to open and you're coming downhill, if your foot is not on an angle like that, but it's like parallel, you have to put your whole foot into the ground. Yeah. You have to.
Oh yeah. I ain't never did that.
And if it's not parallel, if it's straight, that's another thing. If your foot is straight forward and you was to drop your heel, so if my heel is right here, and it just let me tilt it down a little bit. But if my heel
where is Moo when I need it? Because me and Moo played at the same school. Like they taught us this. And we didn't do it like that.
Yeah. But this a lot of Achilles pop. This a lot of strain on your Achilles. When I'm hurt and I just bop that.
Yeah,
I've
never did that. That's that. Like you
can't
did that. That's
you gotta open your hip. I open the hip a little bit when I'm hurt. Boom, to get back forward. I can't just boom, boom. That's an option.
I feel like you gotta take an extra step if you don't open up your hips. But you said it was natural for you to just
Yeah.
to just
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
all you gotta
crazy.
just think about when if you're walking backwards and then you realize, oh man, I got to go back that way. You don't turn your foot. You literally just take the step and then you go.
Yeah, but I feel like you would need an extra step.
You do. I feel like you do too. I feel like you
I
run
feel
in
like you
places
need we back
when you
down.
don't.
Oh, you gotta go forward. You gonna take an extra step,
Yeah.
or you gonna pop it super quick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will just bow. You just
But even with
that hip.
but even with the T step, if you're not taking, let's say if you're not taking that extra step, you're losing a half a second by T step.
Yeah, that's just prime trying to say he did something.
Yeah, I don't think you can backpedal truly full speed and T step. I think you got to be at more. You got to be kind of a pace type of a pedal where you under control to do a T step.
I'm gonna leave it to the DBs. I think that's a DB thing. that's a DB thing.
All right. So we'll wrap this up, but let's talk about Shedeur. Shedeur not getting drafted, absolutely ridiculous. Tyler Shugg got drafted. He sucks. Jalen Milroe, he got drafted. He's not. He's a project quarterback at best.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel,
Louisville kid, right?
No.
Tyler Shugg is
Tyler Shugg, Louisville kid, right?
Yeah. Dylan Gabriel, I don't like him at all.
Smallest quarterback in the draft.
But these are the guys that got drafted over Shedeur. Like, what do you think it is? Why this is happening? We're going into the 4th round tomorrow.
Yes.
And no Shedeur Sanders has been drafted.
Yes. It's definitely a combination. Hey, tighten up, bro. He a little hype for the Shedeur topic too. When you think about Shedeur's pops, Deion Sanders, he has clearly talked his son down the draft board. And when you think about just saying just little slick stuff like, if this is cold weather city, we ain't going. Even if it's joking, it's just kind of rubbing people the wrong way. Then if we look at his performance, Shedeur Sanders is a good college quarterback. Shedeur Sanders was never the 5-star top-rated quarterback when he got to Jackson State. Shedeur Sanders was not a highly touted recruit coming out of the transfer portal that every school wanted. They might have welcomed him, but it wasn't dropping no big NIL bag or nothing like that. When Shedeur got to Colorado, he played good. He played solid, but it wasn't just record-breaking numbers that we never seen.
Bill was just an HBCU quarterback.
He was a decent quarterback. Like, he really was. And the hype machine behind Colorado is really what's been propelling him up. They didn't win a big bowl game. He's never broken a record that we see as just untouchable in terms of touchdowns or completions. The things that he's done are placed in a mid-round quarterback realm. And that's just objective. If you don't know his name, you look at his numbers, you look at his record, you would say, yeah, that's a quarterback that probably went mid-round in the draft. So
that's crazy.
But that's what it seemed about par.
That's crazy because everything that you said, I can put that on every single quarterback in this draft. Matter of fact, I can put that on the dude who went number 1.
He's the best quarterback in this draft. Shedeur Sanders is number 1.
Yeah. Because Cam Ward.
I'm pretty sure Cam Ward has more turnovers than him, And he also has more turnovers in situational football than Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, I'm on record already as saying Cam Ward is the most mediocre number 1 quarterback ever drafted.
And also, Cam Moore had a better O-line than Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
What they doing to Shedeur right now is politics. It strictly just have everything to do with other than the tape in his resume.
Nothing to do with football.
It has nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy that came from an HBCU to a Power 4 school and led rankings and broke records there at that school. It's just a total disrespect. It's a slap to prime. NFL has to do better. This just doesn't make no sense. The fact that he didn't even get drafted today,
yes,
they really is trying to. They're trying to humble him. They want him to take a piece of humble pie.
And that's the narrative that I've been hearing. I heard Colin Cowherd say it. I heard Emmanuel Acho say it. This whole that Shedeur needed to be humbled is crazy to me because I'm like, what does that mean?
He was humble coming in. He came from an HBCU.
I want the most confident player possible.
But it's different. It's not about that. It's about the show. The people who are drafting these players right now, bro, they got to make a decision. Do I want to bring in somebody that's about to help my team win this year, or do I want to bring in a project and a show? You think
Shedeur is a project?
But he's not a show though. He brings that intensity. He brings competitiveness. He brings all of that. It's just get misconstrued because of if the last name was different, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No, if the package, the whole way that they bring the show to the game is the problem. That's the issue. Is that they not going for that in the NFL. They probably got to have some long conversations with Deion Sanders Jr. Hey, bro, you're not bringing the GoPro in. I'm sorry, like you can't.
But he's not going to the NFL with his brother. He's staying at Colorado.
Well, no, I'm not. I think Bucky. I think Bucky's gonna. If Bucky got a chance to be there, he's gonna be there.
I'm just saying.
I don't think Bucky's gonna be there, bro.
I doubt that he is just going to turn off his whole social media presence. He gonna turn off his whole what is it? Shedeur Square? What is it? The whole joint as my time. All of this bravado.
That's his logo. He's signed to Nike.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. It's a
the
show.
NFL needs that. They don't have a star. I mean, Jay Jettis is signed to Under Armour.
Well, you got to understand. Okay, this is where me and Will we can both have this conversation. Because I'm pretty sure. Did you go to the rookie? You went to the rookie symposium?
Yeah.
Okay. In the rookie symposium, they give you a book. It's a white book or it's a black book. Can't remember what it is right now. And it's a shield. It's the NFL shield.
Tell you niggas how to act.
First page tells you no one player is bigger than the shield.
Hell, tell you niggas act, bro. This is how niggas act, manual.
But this is the difference between the NBA and the NFL. This is why the NFL don't have big athletes. The athletes are not able to grow.
But this is why the NFL is the most popular and the most profitable league in the country, because it's run by a business. It's not run by individuals.
I don't think they're the most profitable, but
yes, they by a lot, and it's not even close.
The NBA, they're not bigger than the NBA. The NBA is international.
They shit on the.
You talking about here? Or are we talking about just U.S. soil?
It don't matter globally.
The only thing that's
they're not.
Soccer is the only thing that
globally. They're not.
Soccer is the only thing that makes more money than the fucking NFL.
I'm telling you, bro. It blow your mind up, bro. You got to think. I'm gonna just tell you something simple as this, bro.
The NBC gonna exploit those numbers next year.
You got to think about it, something as simple as this, bro. NBA Stadium got about 20,000 people in that mug, and it's not sold out every night.
And that's a big stadium.
No, it's not. But NFL stadiums are not sold out either. but NFL stadiums are not as big as college stadiums.
NFL
It's the same amount of people.
Though. You got 50, 60,000 people versus 20, 15,
20 and 30.
That's a big difference.
And an NBA, a big NBA arena holds 20,000. That's a big one. An average one holds anywhere between 14 and 18.
And then the thing that really killed what killed the game that the NFL did better than any other league is that they waited, bro. They waited until all of these platforms hit that prime, no pun intended, but hit that time when everything was ready to crack and they had that checkbook open. So when Apple was ready to pay, when Netflix was ready to pay, when Amazon was ready to pay, NFL was ready.
And the NFL Network deal is insane.
Stupid, G.
It's insane.
Yo, tell you.
Look, you may like the NBA, but they do not pull in NFL money.
I like both. I don't have a
No, I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying.
When it comes to money,
NFL is not cracking that check.
yes, they
telling
are.
you, they're not cracking that check over the NBA.
Bro.
The NBA is an international entity. like when we're asleep, they still running that same game and still making money off of that.
Look,
they still making. I don't know. Like
I'm gonna just tell
y'all
you,
some diehard NFL guys. Like
No.
I got real numbers for you, bro. All right,
okay, you pull. Okay, I was doing the same thing.
I had to go to Forbes. Forbes say the NFL makes significantly more profit than the NBA in terms of revenue and income. NFL annual revenue is 18 to 20 billion. NBA annual revenue was 10 to 12 billion, bro. So we're talking about $8 billion, bro. $8 billion is a lot. That's significant.
Like you gotta understand.
They really said the key reason that they list, they're saying is fewer games, so a higher TV value per game. Already talked about the national TV contracts and the streaming contracts, and to hit it on the head, the lower player salary. They pay their players less. So when
because there's more players on average.
Nah, it ain't just because there's more players.
There's more players, but there's less players in the NBA total. Like
put it like this:
there's 450 players.
The NBA, put it like this: the NBA don't make more money than Major League Baseball.
Nah, yeah.
Like
crazy. Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now. Look.
I'm finding that hard.
I had to look at these stats.
The NFL makes
$19.2 the guys that make the most money.
That's no. So
the guys that make the most money, their league is not more profitable than the.
You're looking at salaries and not revenue.
Yes.
No. I'm looking at revenue too, though.
No, you can't. If the
NFL, it's about profit. Like forget revenue. What's the profit?
I think we're gonna see once this NBC deal come out, and then
it's still not gonna be bigger than the NFL. Look,
they show y'all the views because
there were WNBA games that drew more local eyes than NBA games last year.
Yeah. You gotta think,
the NBA is losing viewership, dog.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No,
yes, they are.
I'm telling you.
Do you know last year's NBA Finals was one of the lowest viewed finals in NBA history.
Mm-hmm. Here, right here.
NBA Finals. It doesn't matter. It's everywhere.
It was lowest viewed here. In the
everywhere.
US.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe. We're the number one.
Google is your friend.
We're the number one sport in China. I find that hard to believe.
You can be number one sport in China and still not beating football.
Football is only here.
Man,
it's only getting views here. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like the NBA is getting more views than anybody else.
Look. It don't. All
And
that.
they're reading it on an average.
$19.5 billion.
Cause see,
Y'all gonna see when this new NBC deal come out. When this new NBC deal come out, it's about to happen in a couple. I think next year, because it's the last year with TNT. It's gonna be this NBC deal, and then y'all gonna see who's gonna reign supreme. And they've been reigning supreme this whole time. You just got it confused. They all got it confused. I'm trying to tell you.
Unless they drop that deal for $8 billion, it ain't gonna start that deal.
I don't know what NBC paid to get the NBA contract. All I know is Adam Silver, he did his thing and he got the deal done. Nobody's beating the NBA. No,
Roger Goodell got his foot in his ass. I can tell you that right now.
Roger Goodell ain't. Roger Goodell trying to compete.
The NFL draft,
you know, Christmas and everything. He's trying.
The NFL draft draws more views every year than your highest viewed NBA game, and they're just watching people get drafted.
When have you ever thought about watching the second round of the NBA draft?
Or the draft in general.
You don't watch the second round of the NBA draft.
Exactly.
You don't. You only watched it because Bronny James was getting drafted. That's the only reason why you watch.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The NFL is commanding everybody's entire year. When you think about how they done went from the Super Bowl straight to the combine.
No. Like the NFL has a good structure. They have a good structure, but they're not beating the NBA. I'm just telling y'all, bro. They're not beating them.
He pulled it up and I pulled it up. Like we both.
I'm talking about everything international. Like I'm saying, y'all speaking from a U.S. standpoint.
No, yes, this is globally. This is global.
No, bro.
NFL is not even a global sport.
That's what.
You telling me the NBA they got some NBA bank accounts overseas? That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying they got bank accounts overseas. I'm saying it's being viewed.
The money got to come back to the U.S. and when that money bottom line out, it ain't hitting what the NFL is hitting. It's a lot of money. I just really want to see what's going to happen when it gets to the point, because what you're saying is not actually all the way incorrect. It's a really.
You gonna see when that NBC, so what the NBA has been doing, they've been giving people the average number. They've been giving not the total number. They've been giving people the average number. So they're saying like, okay, there's an average of like 6.4 million watching at this time. They're giving people the average because that's what they did for their new TV deal. So
I'm looking at it.
All right, go ahead. Tell me.
On average, a season, $19.2 billion is the NFL. The NBA is at $12 billion.
Okay.
Like, that is massive.
I think what he's saying though is the NBA is still way more popular than the NFL. And when you think about popularity, you try to equate that to profitability, and it's not always the same.
I think the numbers we have we're only talking about here.
No, these
you gotta think the NBA is in Africa, the NBA is in China, the NBA is in Europe, they're in the UK.
So is NFL.
Listen, hear me out. What they doing?
The NBA has its own African league. Like
they over there losing money.
And so does the NFL.
It's different, bro.
So does the NFL.
I think we're only.
The NFL has teams in Europe.
It's minor. It's so minor, and you know it is, bro. They just started that shit like a couple years ago.
That
like
is
5 years back.
NFL Europe has been there for decades.
No, bro.
No, they just started doing tryouts for dudes in Africa and shit. Like it's not on the NBA level.
There's been
not
teams
on the NBA level where they have a whole league.
I've had dudes that played in Poland, in Germany.
They took a walk. They took the walk there.
NFL. Hey, look, if you're gonna bring up Africa, I can bring up the teams that are in Germany.
Hey, you gotta remember too. Just because you travel don't mean you getting money everywhere.
Yeah.
Some of these things, some of these is marketing, some of these is investments trying to get the game to grow over here. You look at them books. I don't think they always making a whole lot of money overseas. They trying to get it growing overseas, and when you trying to start a business, that's when you got to try to put it.
See, that's my brother. My brother just told you. He said my man's need to travel. NFL Europe is already sold out for next season.
See,
you talking about the games that's coming there, or like what are we talking about?
NFL Europe and NFL Mexico. NFL Mexico.
You talking about the games that's coming there, right?
No. There's leagues.
Okay, the league there is already sold out.
Yeah, there's leagues and there are games. That's why they play the games in those. That's why they play the games in those cities.
Yeah, man. Nah, man.
He said, that boy love the NBA, bro.
I'm an NFL guy. Nah, I love the NFL. I'm tuned in, definitely. But I just find it hard to believe that the NFL is doing better than the NBA. I just find it hard.
Because of the popularity.
I find it super hard.
It's because you have to understand. You got to understand how the NFL works and why the NFL is so profitable. It's the same. It's the same reason why March Madness makes more money than the NBA playoffs, because there's more interest in a 1-game scenario than it is a 7-game series.
Yep.
With the NFL, you got 17 games. That's it. Every game matters. So the fan bases, everybody is locked in for those 17 weeks. You got 82 games, dog.
They spending money every week.
The networks are looking at and the networks pay for that. The networks pay for that. They dropping bags off at the NFL like Monday Night Football, bet. You want Thursday Night Football? Nigga, please. Boom. Sunday Night Football too? Got that. Boom. During the playoffs, you want Saturday nights? Cool. You got Saturday nights too.
I know you'll be having a different conversation when NBC is running this shit.
No,
we're gonna be having a different and I'm gonna be here for it. We got Will.
You know how much power the NFL has?
I'm gonna say Cole Will. I'm gonna need some of that.
I'm gonna tell you just how much power the NFL has.
Ackline, because I'm telling you, the NFL gonna shut shit down with that deal next year. I'm telling you.
Look, I'm gonna tell you just how strong the NFL is. The NFL is so popular, they took Christmas away from the NBA.
No, they didn't. That's my problem. You think they took Christmas?
Yes, they did.
You think two Netflix games took Christmas away from where it been for the past 20 years?
You know how I know it did? Because the NFL games did.
All right, so what's gonna happen when Christmas don't fall on a Thursday or a Sunday?
No, it was on a Sunday.
No, because Christmas is on Thursday this year. So what's gonna happen next year when it doesn't fall on a prominent NFL day?
Oh, nigga, football is football. It's always.
Okay.
They will put that game.
I want to see how Roger Goodell keeps it up.
27.
They definitely will play a game on Tuesday, my nigga. Like
we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Look,
I'm
27.
Just let you know.
You know how I know it was bad?
Christmas
because
has always been NBA.
No, that all the NBA dudes was mad as hell.
No, they wasn't. They wasn't even tripping. They wasn't even tripping.
LeBron went out of his way to acknowledge that the NFL was playing on Sunday, and he was mad
because they're trying to take their day. I'm pretty sure you got a pair. I'm pretty sure you have a pair of Christmas something in your closet.
Well, I'm saying
you got a pair of Christmas Kobe's. You got a pair of Christmas Bronze. Some KDs. You got something in your closet that's Christmas.
Nope.
Nike ain't playing them games. Nobody playing them games, dog. Come on, man.
Hey, 27 million
We're talking about
27 million people on Netflix
we're
says
talking
that
about,
they was
we're
watching that
talking
shit.
about big companies. We're talking about huge companies.
And they had the nerve to have Beyonce do the halftime. You crazy?
That's how they got their views. I'm pretty
It
sure
don't
you look
matter.
at the views.
It,
Pretty sure you look at the views. The average was probably from the halftime.
the average was 20 because I did a show on it. The average was 23 during the game, and during halftime it peaked at 27. So they only added 4 million more people.
Hey, it was the Taylor Swift effect. Come on now. I know what they're doing. We know what the NFL is doing. They trying.
Taking over
They
the world.
trying. They trying.
That's why the NFL is more profitable because they know when to capitalize, bro. They know when to strike, bro.
Exactly.
They get that paper.
I'm not gonna lie. They swinging. They trying to knock the NBA off, but
They don't need to. They already did that. They already did that. They did that years ago, brother. All right. So we're gonna wrap this up because I know we're
We
gonna
didn't
get the
even talk
babies to
about
bed.
Shador though, but yeah,
We didn't. We'll get to it. We always get on tangents and we got to bring it back. So.
I think we just gotta wait till Buddy gets drafted, dog.
Like,
It's out of our ears at this point.
we might have to spin this back when they do the XFL draft.
Yeah, well, that's another thing we keep, and I know because I know Moolah's going to be in there because we keep saying every time we get like this was the time for us to do the whole UFL stuff and talk about the games and all that, and then we get so locked into everything else we forget about the UFL, and here we are.
I got one question. What's up with this destroying? Like, why he can't make no kicks? I don't think he.
No, he's been killing it. He's been killing it this year.
I said when I saw it on SportsCenter, he made that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's banging them this year. He good.
Nah, I seen him miss one. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was prime. It was like prime situational for him to kick, and that shit went wide left.
Nah, he just kicked a 62-yarder the other day.
Oh, he did? And he made it?
He banged that shit.
I'm just rooting for my man. I want him to really do good. I want him to do like Bates.
He a kicker though, bro. Like I done met him a couple times. I done seen him play ball, kick. Like he nice, bro.
No, yeah, he can really kick. I think it's just hard for him mentally, like because he not really getting paid. Like he ain't banking on that shit. Like
no, it's not about
hard
that.
to take yourself out of something like you really do something very well. And it's paying for you abundantly, and like all your marbles are not here.
No, you gotta understand, shit, bro. That nigga love kicking, bro.
Kicking a football with nobody on the field is one thing. Kicking a football when you got big black burly motherfuckers coming at you, that's a whole nother thing in itself.
That's why that's what I'm saying. I think he gotta just like tune in like a little bit more. Cause like I think everybody's rooting for him. Like everybody wants him to be great.
I'm telling y'all, bro, he gonna get to the NFL when he about 35, bro.
Nah, I don't think the NFL even gonna cut him a deal. I don't care how good he do.
No, as long as you can kick,
I think he's like a Shador. I think he's too big to where it's gonna look. Otherwise, I think he got to deal with the NFL too.
That's what I'm saying. He already got to deal with the NFL. They already.
I think he's just too big to be on a team.
No. Yeah. No. I will agree with CC on this, bro.
I think he's too big to be on a team.
Think about the power shift, the money shift that'll happen if Destroying get on the NFL team. What's that gonna do to his? Just his media presence.
Bro, he's gonna be the next Pat McAfee.
That nigga said the same time, bro. Pat McAfee, you think he doing something? Nigga,
it's gonna put him because he's like the Ja Morant of the NBA. Like he has the youth. And that's what you want. You want the youth. If he gets on the NFL team, it don't matter what team. That team gonna skyrocket in sales because he has the youth. Like this whole YouTube foundation, these YouTube kids, It's just a different scenario. They got
but the only pushback I will have on that is that it'll have a little uptick, but if they're not football fans, it don't matter.
I mean,
because
the NFL already played with that. Like,
because if
you put Taylor Swift on the Chiefs, and what happened? Everybody became a Chiefs fan.
Yep.
No. They didn't become Chiefs. They didn't become Chiefs fans. The Chiefs games became more popular to watch on TV.
They became Chiefs fans. You got people rooting for the Chiefs who don't even watch football.
If you got people tuning in for the Raiders and people buying jerseys and merchandise, that shit matters. That shit.
Yeah, but like I said, that's why I said, are they going to be football fans? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, most of his core fans are football.
Yeah.
But then think about it. Did the Brahmas have a surge in jersey sales and stuff since he's been there?
Probably. Nobody didn't look into it, but I'm pretty sure people done bought his jersey.
Yeah.
Once they found out the nigga last name was De La Hoya, like, huh? Nigga, what? I thought it was a Johnson, man.
I will guarantee that he in the top 5 jersey sales in the XFL.
Guaranteed.
Let's see. Let's do it before we get out of here. Let's see. Top selling jerseys.
That man out there like Luka. Once Luka became a Laker, boy, hey, you know Luka number 1. Bro, actually, look up NBA sales to NFL jersey sales. I bet you number 10 is blowing number 1 out of the water.
Nah, but
actually, I got the computer right here.
NBA don't bring the most money out of them situations though.
Top NFL jersey sales 25.
I'm surprised they even got XFL jersey numbers up.
So we already knew that Jaden Daniels was number 1. God damn, Jaden Daniels is bro. Hey, you know his rookie card like shot up through the roof.
I believe it.
Like him and Michael Penix. I just got back into like cards and shit. Him and Michael Penix is man, they shit going crazy. So February 2025. Let me see. They got a number. This is Bleacher Report. McCaffrey. It still said McCaffrey was number 1. Damn, it was on this thing.
I don't know. It's not. I can't find it.
Yeah, that's why I would be surprised if they even got those numbers up.
They have it team wise. They don't have it like as individual players.
I think it's a local thing.
The Brahmas have the 3rd highest selling jersey as far as the UFL teams go.
And look at what market they in. They in San Antonio.
Who number 1? The St. Louis team?
Who's number 1?
Who was number 1?
Let me see.
I would think the St. Louis team because old boy from
Houston,
the quarterback. Oh, Houston.
And who number 2?
Arlington.
Yep. So you talking about base?
It's all Texas. It's all big market, big state. Yeah. It come with. I'm telling you, it comes with that.
Go ahead, dude.
All right.
They don't got a number though.
All right. So, Will,
I'm gonna bring that back
before
up.
we head out. Give everybody your social. I'm gonna tag it in the video anyway. But give everybody your socials, the website for the Alkaline, all that. Hold on.
It's on social media. Just will.a.brown. And on all social media platforms for the business is Alkaline Activated. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just straight Alkaline Activated.
Yep, and I'm gonna tag it in there as well, so everybody can reach out to you for the Alkaline. Any athletes, if you're in the Arizona area, go check him out. Please do that. Support the man. Support him.
And y'all don't gotta support me in terms of that. I want y'all to support y'all health. I want y'all to support y'all y'all skill set, just whatever you're trying to grow in. I'm trying to be a resource for y'all. So let's keep on building together. You heard me?
Yep. Cece, same thing.
I
Socials and all that.
I don't really have no social.
Somebody might want to argue with you on something, so you might.
All right. They can argue me right here on FTSL. I mean, I chime in when I can, but we getting on the peak of NFL season. It's about to get real here pretty soon. My team is looking pretty nice. If you want to debate with me about the Seahawks, feel free. We can do that. You know. Other than that,
y'all paid for the most mediocre quarterback in the world.
I was just gonna say, I don't know what the Seahawks playing is. It's looking like we're gonna just waste some put Jalen Milroe in.
I was talking to Moo. Next thing you know, I think we took Jalen Milroe over Sanders. I lost it. I was like, oh my God.
And y'all paid Sam Darnold all that damn money.
Well, actually, no, we didn't pay him a lot of money. He's like on a 1-year contract deal.
You paid him anyway, and it's a lot of money.
It doesn't matter. It was less than what Gina was asking for. The only thing I'm really mad about is that we let DK go. So, I mean, you let DK go, you get Cooper Kupp, you got MVS. We still on the same tier where we was last year. Like, we're not on the cusp of the bubble. We still like on trying to be the bubble. So, you know, we'll probably be a 500 team near like 9-8 or some shit like that. Like,
if y'all win 3 games, that
I'm
should
about to say that boy got wishful thinking, bro.
Y'all said that last year, probably like when Gino was starting. Like,
I didn't say
Gino, bro. Gino Smith. He's solid, bro. He's actually
people wasn't big on Gino the first year he started. Seattle is cool. Like, Seattle's y'all had his game is the defense. Mike McDonald, he got the defense on lock.
You still got to score points.
That defense surprised me last year. I was shocked how good Leonard did on the D line playing D tackle. He caused a lot of ruckus. We're gonna be decent. We're gonna be at 500 team.
I love y'all secondary, bro. And y'all just drafted that safety.
Well, we got Reek. Hey, old boy from South Carolina, beast. So
your secondary.
They're trying to bring back that boom mentality, but we got lockdown corners. We got lockdown corners. Like,
I am a fan of that secondary. Trust me, 100%. I am a fan.
Like, what's his name? Spoon. Hey, Spoon is he might be top 3 DB in the league.
She top 3 in the fucking division. I don't want to say
relax. Not top 3. You going to see?
That's what happened. That's what happened with Superfans.
You're gonna see him next year. This is gonna be his 3rd year. He's been improving every year.
You said top 3.
He might be top 3. He might be top 3 next year.
You know when Cat's voice starts squeaking, like you know they don't believe what they saying.
We gonna see, man. We gonna see. Hey, shout out to Pat, man. That was dope. Him winning Defensive Player of the Year. That's really huge. That's really big.
He shouldn't have won that.
Another slight like.
You said what?
He shouldn't have won that.
Who should have won it?
Anybody but him.
Whoa.
We can all come back and have this conversation.
We can't congratulate people. See what's going on here, man.
We can have that conversation. I'm here for the debate. That's what we do.
We're gonna have to, bro, because I might be biased because Pat trained out here with us too. But
no. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just not saying he wasn't DPOY good last year.
Who was your DPOY?
He was the best. He was the best corner, and corner is the hardest position to play on defense.
Yes, it is.
Okay. We had to come.
Hold on.
Will has already accepted to come back, so we got it.
Because I missed the whole show. I watched the show and I was in the comments, but
Hey, Mo, they was
show,
talking
so.
about a T-step, dog. Like,
yeah, I know it's all good. Don't worry about it. Y'all can catch my thoughts real soon.
Yeah, we got.
But you felt me what I was talking about, right? Like,
Nah, because it was ingrained in us from yay high, so it's different.
I'm confused.
You feel me?
He said
But we
he
gonna
said
break
he
it down.
just went forward, but he didn't open hips.
Yeah, we gonna break it down. No, we can get into it. We can get into it. I wanted to pop in and say, fire show, fellas. I watched it the whole way through. Fire show. Will, appreciate you for sliding through. CC, you already know you always welcome to slide through. Mel, appreciate you for holding it down. Sorry I missed the show today, but I'll be back on Monday, basket to basket. Wednesday, gentlemen's talk. Thursday, you already know PBT, and then we're gonna double back again inside the huddle. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. The comments was lit. I seen everybody in the chat, seen everybody watching. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna see y'all next week.
Yeah, and then Mullet is out. So
That was a quick intro.
Yeah,
outro.
But definitely, CC, you already know. Will, open invite, you family now. So, whenever you want to come through, open. All I saw was breaking news Raiders, and I was like, but then it's nothing.
Salute to you, Will. Appreciate you for having me again, Mel.
Yep.
Y'all have a good night, man.
You have a good one, bro.
Man. I'd love to be back. Hell of a time, fella. We're gonna tap in.
We're definitely gonna tap in. So we can have it. Well, CC, we got that Seahawks debate. And then we can get into the Patrick.
I've been here the whole draft. It's all good.
Yeah. We can get into the Patrick Surtain stuff, get some DB talk, because me and Mulich had a debate last year. We're gonna have to revisit it. What is the hardest position in football? And
it's DB.
We had DB. We had the DB receiver debate. So
nah, it's DB receiver. What? it's either DB or center.
Well, it was really what's harder, DB or wide receiver. That was the real.
It's DB all day.
To just make that question simple, is
do everything backwards.
Who is the bigger liability? A bad wide receiver on the field or a bad cornerback?
Bad DB.
No, because a bad wide receiver can fuck some. I mean, got a little man over there, can mess some stuff up too.
Now he's doing everything backwards and he's doing it as a high level. So if he's beating you,
I got it. As a receiver, I have to read way more things than you do.
See, right. We got to.
He has to react off your movement. A guy that has to react off your movement on what you're doing, that means he's doing it better than you.
But you got more help.
At a later time.
A DB has more assistance. A DB has more assistance.
How? That's if you run in specific defenses.
No,
that's the only way.
If you play man coverage, you still got a safety over the top. If you play zone, you don't have. I'm not your primary lock-in. So, like I said, what they do in between those yards and in between those lines is federal.
Don't try to knock a DB for that, please.
Hey, look, man, we're gonna have this.
I'm not even a DB.
They're gonna move it.
Look, we ain't having this debate right now. Nope, because we'll get into it.
Yes.
We'll say this. We'll shelf this for another time, because Mel, you don't get us DB started over here.
Man,
look, I'm not to go. That's all right. I'm not to go hunt me a receiver down because y'all not gonna jump me.
Much love, fellas. Let me put the little man down for the night.
All right,
have a good night, man.
Thanks everybody for coming through. Appreciate everybody in the comments. Like, subscribe, do all the good things. The clips is coming up, so this is gonna be a good one to cut up. So I appreciate it. Appreciate
Fire
it.
show, fellas. Fire show.
Peace.
Yep.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the